YouTube world. I am Queen Lillie. Welcome to my live. What are we talking about today? You guys, we're still talking about Donald Trump and Epstein, but we're talking about the gerrymandering that's happening in Texas and how the senators, the Democratic senators, have gone to Illinois to avoid being involved with this gerrymandering. They broke quorum, and they've been threatened by the wheelchair gangster, the wheelchair thug, Governor Abbott. They've been threatened by him that he said he's going to arrest them, but it's illegal to arrest them. He's threatened to put warrants on them, but it was okay for the MAGA Republicans to decide to go on break early in July. That wasn't right either. So how are you going to punish the Democrats when the Republican just did that in July, broke quorum and left early to go on their break vacation, and that they're not coming back to September. So if what's good for the gander is good for the goose. But what the problem is, the MAGA Republicans feel, okay, we're trying to gerrymander to get rid of people of color from being the Dems that's a people of color from getting in those seats again. That's what the Republican MAGA party is trying to do. So what the Dems said, we're not going to play fair. We're going to play how you play. You play dirty. We're going to play a lot dirtier than you. We're going to get gangster too. That's what's happening in our politics today. Donald Trump is trying to cheat again. He's trying to steal the 2026 election. That's why he has wheelchair thug Governor Abbott doing what he's doing. And the Dems are no longer going to sit back and be nice. You can't play by the old rules. You better pick these new rules and outdo them with their game. Play chess, but be super duper better good at chess than they could ever be. Sometimes they playing Connect Four. We ain't going to play Connect Four. We playing chess. And we're going to use Donald Trump balls to do it. So what are we talking about? We're going to have Trump. He says he's entitled to 5 extra seats in Texas. Jasmine Crockett, we're going to listen to her. She's going to speak a couple times. Trump, like Jasmine Crockett states, Trump will try to cheat again to win this election. We have to fight back. We must fight back. I feel better today. If y'all can tell in my voice, I feel better today. I've been sick down with a sinus infection. We will win. They are so afraid. Donald Trump has did such a bad job in 6 months. He's afraid because his policies suck. It doesn't benefit the people. It doesn't benefit the citizens of Texas. It only benefits the rich billionaires that he has picked to be in his cabinet. And the ones that's buying that Bitcoin that he's doing special favors for, that's who his policies benefit. They don't benefit the citizens like you and I. They don't. So we are at war in our own country. And the Democrats must fight harder than ever to take back our country, because this country belongs to you and I. Donald Trump is no king. He's barely a human being. He half near hidden down in hell right now because he's going to crunk over soon. He can't remember anything. He said words that not even words. He make up lies as if we don't know the truth. The American people know the truth. We will not stand for the gerrymandering in any of our states. But what is about to happen? Trump and them are going to eat their words. Because right now, California and other states, such as New York as well, they said, well, we're ready to gerrymander too. We all can play this game. And what's sad, Texas is a red state. It's not like you got money there, but your people that are the citizens are red state people that are not as wealthy. You're hurting them too, but they're so naive and non-educational. They believe anything that the MAGA Republicans tell them. When the benefit comes from the Democrats, and the greatest benefit taxpayers come from the blue state. I live in a red state. I live in Georgia. Donald Trump is not benefiting you. He's taking from you. And you're going to hear some people talk about what's been taken from them. You're going to hear a lot of different people talk about how things are happening since Donald Trump is in office. He ain't here to benefit you. He's not here in this White House to benefit me. He cares nothing about any of you, MAGA. You just so stupid enough to believe that you are important when you're not. You're important in God's eyes, but you're not important in Donald Trump's eyes. He has shown you daily he cares nothing about you. He didn't care if you voted. He told you, I don't even need your vote. He knew what Elon was going to do. He knew he was going to be cheating in the election. He planned on stealing the 2026 election. But the Democrats must beat them at their own game. Don't return to Texas. Let them suffer. They did not meet the quorum that they wanted to meet for the quorum, and they did not get what they want. So Governor Abbott, wheelchair thug, he's upset, highly upset. But the American people, we don't care that they're upset. We want our country ran by a true president, not by a 34-count felon thug. An old man that's a thug is that. That's sad. You old and crusty and you a thug, Donald Trump. Sit your old ass down. Stop playing these childish games. Grow up and stop being the 2-year-old that you didn't get your daddy's attention when you wanted. You have father, daddy problems. And mommy didn't like you neither. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and get started. How y'all doing today? I want to thank each and every last one of you all for coming to my live. Welcome to my live. I am Queen Lillie, and we have a lot to cover. This is life under Trump, and it hasn't been pleasant. But we're going to go ahead and get started, okay? I'm going to let y'all listen to this young lady. She's from Texas. She's in politics. Listen to her. Then I'm going to break down what is gerrymandering and what is breaking quorum. One moment, please. Let me know you can hear me. Oh, we're going to talk about Eagles attack. We're going to talk about Jeffrey Epstein 200. That is the main topic. But we got to keep up with what's going on besides that as well, baby. I want to thank each and every last one of you in my chat for coming to my live. Thank you for blessing me with your presence today. You are all beautiful kings and queens, and without you, I do not have a channel. Let's spread love and joy. So I'm going to go ahead and get started, okay?
Hey everyone, it's your good old buddy, Dr. Matthews. How y'all doing? Happy Monday. I'm here to give an update in regards to the quorum break situation. Today, I was given information in regards to, these were the House members that showed up on the House floor today. And these are the ones that we are
weak.
Definitely.
We'll vote them out.
These are the most spineless Democrats that I have ever seen. And then the cold thing about it is they are Democrats that are Hispanic. Do you not know that they trying to disenfranchise blacks and Hispanics, you big dummies? So let me let y'all know
they are dumb for that.
Donkey of the week is, who we finna primary. Raymond Pena, District 42. Joe Moody, District 78. Armando Martinez, District 39. Oscar Longoria, District 35. Terry Canales, District 40. And Sergio Munoz, District 36. And when you look at that voting thing, he didn't vote, but he was there. He was on the floor. Let me tell y'all something. We're going to let y'all know fat meat is greasy. And I want all my grassroots, everybody, we need to activate, because these
Holy Spirit, activate.
We are going to primary them. Since y'all do not want to fight for the people of Texas, you don't want to fight for minorities, and you a damn minority, and you brought your weak ass to that House floor. So guess what? We're going to replace you. And I'm going to say this to the legislators that did go. Don't you bring your ass back here. Because if you do, you're going to be right in the thick of it with these 6 jokers. Now, did they make quorum? Absolutely not. But I'm going to tell you this. They won't be in that seat because we're going to see to it. Hey everyone, it's your good old buddy, Dr. Matthews.
Woo! I like her. When I tell you, they said Texas is on fire. Honey, Texas is on fire. Ain't nobody doing it like Texas. I thought Atlanta was hot, baby. I thought Georgia was hot. But honey, when I say Texas, this ain't Texas. Beyonce said that Texas is on fire. Hey, Abbott, let me borrow your wheelchair. Do you like hills? Do you want to roll down a hill? This ain't Texas. So I'm going to tell you, Texas Dems broke quorum. And what does quorum mean? It means the minimum number of members of an assembly or society that must be present at any of its meetings to make the proceedings of that meeting valid. Well, Abbott, you happy? Because you did not make quorum, honey. You didn't make it. You know why? Because the Democrats are fighting back. And those 6 Hispanic people, black people always have your back. This is what black people talking about. We have everybody EMF back, but they never have ours. Get some balls of Boris Donald Trump's rusty old ones. Get some backbone. Hispanic people, get some backbone. Because every time black people want y'all to fall in with us, you don't do it. You want to be white and they don't even like you. Get a spine. You did not follow the rules that you agreed to. And you crossed us again. But y'all want black people to have your back, Hispanic people. You're the people he hauling your ASS off into El Salvador and places you're not even from. And you're going to turn your back on black people? You better get in order because Trump don't like your ASS. Get a backbone quick. Because we're never going to help you again. I stand on that firmly. We keep looking out for you. And what do? You turn your back on us every time. There's more white people helping black people right now than you. And we help you, Hispanic people. Now, I love you, but you're not going to spit in my face and tell me it's rain. You will not continue to do that. We have your back. Every time the white man do the Hispanic people wrong, black people run to your mercy. I'm on here every day fighting for you. Get a spine. Donald Trump don't even like you. And what do? You broke what you agreed to. You don't make me have a hot flash. I'm very menopausal right now. One moment, please. Okay, what is gerrymandering? Gerrymandering is what Donald Trump is trying to do to steal this election in 2026. And I'm going to tell you about me. I never miss a time to vote. I take my tail sick or whatever and I go vote. I could be hurting. I get up and I go vote. Because that is my legal right. And you vote for what's right, not for some BS because you don't want to be put in with black people. Well, black people are the only people that ever had your back, Hispanic people. My beautiful Mexican people. Donald Trump don't like you. None of them like you. They want you gone. You stick with people that's sticking with you. Gerrymandering is manipulate the boundaries of an electoral constituency so as to favor one party or class. Donald Trump wants where his party is favored. Only his party. He don't care about nobody else. Donald Trump is a selfish old fool. What he does what Satan do. Steal, kill, and destroy. That's what Donald Trump does, just like Satan does. Move along.
Make every American really angry.
When you're so gerrymandered, and we have an opportunity in Texas to pick up 5 seats. We have a really good governor, and we have good people in Texas. And I won Texas. I got the highest vote in the history of Texas, as you probably know. And we are entitled to 5 more seats.
That's Donald Trump, of course, talking about the 5 seats he is trying to steal in Texas through a mid-decade gerrymander that is utterly uncalled for, unneeded. We are entitled to 5 seats. That is false. No one is entitled to any seats. This is the Republican mindset in a nutshell. If we can steal it, we
kill,
are
and destroy. That's them. They just like the devil.
You know what? That is not the way democracy works. You're not entitled to seats. You earn them. Through being a good lawmaker and a public servant who cares about the people you are representing and wants to help them. But not Donald Trump. He is entitled to whatever seats he can take or steal or rig. He's entitled to enrich himself off of the presidency. He is entitled to move Ghislaine Maxwell to a low-security, cushy prison because he is entitled to pardon her if he wants to, because he is entitled to cover up whatever his involvement was with Jeffrey Epstein. He is entitled to that Qatari jet. He's entitled his entire life. He and every other rich elite who have been profiting off of our system, entitled to take what they want and leave the rest in ruins. I don't care how long you have been supporting this man, really, you're gonna let him essentially grab you by the you-know-what? He's not entitled to anything. He's supposed to earn it, but he never has. It is time to call him out on it. It is time to stand together as a country, regardless of party. He's not entitled to those 5 seats. He should be doing a good enough job that people want to vote for Republicans, but he's not. He's doing a lousy, horrible job. And guess what he says when people say your poll number's terrible? Those are fake, because he also believes he's entitled to an alternate version of reality. But guess what? He's only entitled to it as long as you give it to him. So stop. Because guess what, America? You're entitled to better than this. Don't forget it. This should make every American really angry.
Americans, we are entitled to affordable groceries. We are entitled to our children being fed at school, even if they don't have the money to pay. That's what. We are entitled to your grandparents, your parents staying in the nursing home. We're entitled to not paying tariffs. But this man in the Oval Office, the big fat blimp, he has put tariffs on everything. When you go in the store right now, meat is so high. For one steak that ain't even worth anything, you're paying $27.99. Come on, y'all. Vote for what's right for once in your damn lives. Wake up. I'm tired of y'all effing up America. This is not the doing of black people. We're not effing it up.
Senator John Cornyn has asked the FBI to get involved and find, arrest, or bring back the Texas legislators.
Yeah, this is interesting. Clearly, my senator. Now, listen, I'm about to tell all of MSNBC a secret. I actually don't hate Senator Cornyn at all. And right now, what we have is a senator who actually is a real Republican who's doing everything that he can to make it seem like he's a MAGA Republican so that he can get through his primary. But Senator Cornyn, this is not him. This is somebody that sat on our Supreme Court. This is somebody who is literally doing everything that he can to hopefully get some of that MAGA base that is riled up to vote for our corrupt Attorney General, because now I'm convinced the only way that you can succeed with MAGA is you got to cheat on your wife, you got to have some felonies hanging over your head, you got to do something that makes you a little saucy before they will get behind you. And that's exactly who A.G. Paxton is. And unfortunately, he is consistently leading in the primary polls on the Republican side. And so Senator Cornyn knows that the FBI can't get involved and ain't gonna get involved as it relates to some little civil situation that was signed off on by the Speaker of the Texas House. But the MAGA base won't know that.
This is why I love this woman. Even though that he's a Republican, she's not going to bash him. She got class. I do it. But he's a Republican that's fair. He's not like Donald Trump. He's not the bootlicker like MAGA. He's not. He's a fair Republican. And that's why he probably will get his seat again. He deserves it if he's fair. Not the kind of fairness that Donald Trump talking about with the Epstein files. We're not talking about that. Because that ain't fair. Donald Trump has his name redacted all through there. If your name is all through there, then you did a lot of bad stuff, boy. You little 2-year-old punk. You did a lot of stuff, Donnie. So I love Queen Jasmine Crockett. She tells it like it is. Trump is the biggest cheater in America, in my opinion. He's a nasty boy. He's a scumbag.
Before I got over here, my former colleagues from the Texas House, those Texas Democrats, decided to get the hell out of Texas. They decided to use whatever tools they could, and breaking quorum is where they are at right now. And they didn't just do it by themselves. They went to Illinois, where there's a governor that gives a damn. God bless all of the Democratic governors. that are ready to get down and dirty.
We ready to get
Gerrymandering
down
is a
and
bad
dirty.
word, and now we have a president that is openly calling for racial gerrymandering down in my state. He wants to gerrymander his way into not having any accountability in the second half of his term. He knows that his policies are unpopular. He knows that he is going to hurt people. He knows that he's already hurting people. And so instead of just doing better, he's decided he's going to...
It's not in Trump to be a better man.
Right before I got
Donald
over
Trump
here,
is a thug.
my former colleagues from the Texas House, those Texas Democrats, decided to get the hell out of Texas.
They did the right thing. They got the F out of Texas. They did the right thing. They fighting back. They're not giving you what you want, Donald Trump. Because if you want me to give you what you want, I'll put my foot in there. Yeah, I'll put my foot in there. I don't have a eggplant to give you, but I'll put my foot in it. I'll stick it so far up in you, you're going to love it. Trump, the T-Moo Hitler. Yes, Trump is a T-Moo Hitler. Says Jasmine Crockett. I like her. She says that. Just take a second and listen what she says.
They need to know that you, the American people, stand with them because they are standing for you. There's so many people that they will never meet, but they understand the importance of making sure that they have a voice when it comes to their government. They understand the importance of standing for what democracy is and making sure that it does not fall by the wayside. They understand that we have a T-Moo Hitler in the White House right now that thinks that he is going to become the dictator of the United States. Well, I got another thing to tell you, sir. The Democrats, no matter whether we're talking about these Texas House Democrats, or whether we're talking about the governor from Illinois, the governor from California, or whether we're talking about New York, or I can go through the states, and it's not just the governors. It is the state houses. It is the state senators. It is those congressional delegations that are saying, do what you got to do, and I will fight, and I will win, and I will earn my seat back to the people's house in D.C. I am here to tell you that time is up for playing in our faces. The Democrats are not going to stand for this any longer. We know that we are standing for the people. And so long as we stand for the people, I absolutely believe the people are going to stand for us. So I just want to be clear. Do whatever you can to support these heroes, because they are the ones that had to leave their families. They are the ones that have warrants out for their arrest. They are the ones that are doing things that, honestly, a lot of other people do not have the audacity to do. So make sure when you talk about them, press, put some respect on them. They need to know that you, the American people, stand with them because they are standing for you. There's so many people that they will never meet, but they understand the importance of making sure that they have a voice when it comes to their government. They understand the importance of standing for what democracy is and making sure that it does not fall by the wayside. They understand that we have a T-Moo Hitler in the White House.
A T-Moo Hitler. When I tell you, this girl on fire. This girl is on fire. Jasmine Crockett. Yes. I got to listen to her again.
They need to know that you, the American people, stand with them because they are standing for you. There's so many people that they will never meet, but they understand the importance of making sure that they have a voice when it comes to their government. They understand the importance of standing for what democracy is and making sure that it does not fall by the wayside. They understand that we have a T-Moo Hitler in the White House right now that thinks that he is going to become the dictator of the United States. Well, I got another thing to tell you, sir. The Democrats, no matter whether we're talking about these Texas House Democrats, or whether we're talking about the governor from Illinois, the governor from California, or whether we're talking about New York, or I can go through the states, and it's not just the governors. It is the state houses. It is the state senators. It is those congressional delegations that are saying, do what you got to do, and I will fight, and I will win, and I will earn my seat back to the people's house in D.C. I am here to tell you that time is up for playing in our faces. The Democrats are not going to stand for this any longer. We know that we are standing for the people. And so long as we stand for the people, I absolutely believe the people are going to stand for us. So I just want to be clear.
I stand with Jasmine Crockett. I love her, y'all. Oh, I love her. And she's pretty. I love Jasmine Crockett. She's powerful at that. And that's why Donald Trump doesn't like her. He called Jasmine Crockett low IQ. Well, honey, her IQ is higher than yours and all your children. She's an attorney. And she wasn't given her diploma. She wasn't given anything, Donnie. See, she didn't have a father to pay her way through. She earned it. Honestly earned it. The dementia queen in the Oval Office is up to no good. He plans on stealing another election, in my opinion.
Trump is trying to rig the next election. He and his allies in Congress just passed the largest transfer of wealth in American history with their big, beautiful bill. Literally kicking millions of people, including millions of Texans.
Hit the
off
like
their
button,
healthcare
please.
To fund tax cuts.
Hit the
for
like
billionaires.
button, beautiful people.
They know that's unpopular, but they don't care because they have a plan. Trump just called Governor Abbott and told him to redraw the political maps in Texas to get him 5 more seats to protect their majority in the next election, regardless of how we all vote. If they get away with this, they will never have to fear the voters ever again. They can enrich themselves and their donors with impunity, with no consequences, with no accountability. This is the rot at the core of our broken political system. Politicians choosing their voters instead of voters choosing their politicians.
Choosing the citizens, that's what matters. The taxpayers matter.
Take the power to draw political maps out of the hands of politicians and put it in the hands of Texas
Of the people. The power of the people.
This is not partisan. Whether you are a Democrat or a Republican or an independent, none of us want politicians silencing our voices and rigging the next election. Donald Trump is trying to rig the next election. He and his
Remember he said he wouldn't have won if the election wasn't rigged? Remember that? Donnie Boy said that. MAGA, do you remember that? Your brain is dead. All your brain cells just went poof. You in that moonshine in the hillbilly hills, smoking that grass, skunk grass, and cat piss. Do you remember anything, MAGA? The wheelchair thug. Abbott is a wheelchair thug.
To potentially have you removed from office.
Well, good morning and thank you. And yes, Texas Democrats, House Democrats are standing up to protect the voice of everyday Texans and voters across this nation. I think the governor's threats over the last 24 hours show just how scared they are of voters next November. And I understand why they want to threaten for me to lose my job and why they think it would work, because it worked for Texas Republicans. When Trump threatened to primary them if he didn't give them vouchers and defund public education, they gave it to him. When Trump called and said, I need 5 congressional seats because he's afraid of voters voting against the big, ugly bill, they said, hey, does July work for you? And so as Texas Democrats, we are breaking quorum. And this is actually the most important thing that I can do as a public official, because it's protected by the founding fathers out of our Texas Constitution that says when the minority party knows that the majority has gone off the rails and is corrupting the system against the interest of the people, this is your last tool. It is extraordinary. It is an exceptional act. And yes, we are all feeling the threats. But we know what they're saying is you just show up today at 3, sit in your chair and be quiet, and you'll be fine. But the voices of all of our constituents would be silenced, and that's not okay with Texas Democrats.
Talk to us about why you made this decision and what do you make of the governor's threat?
That queen helped break quorum. I like her. I love her. Fight back, Dems. This is our country. This ain't a Donald Trump country. That old man, who gonna let an old man run over them? I don't understand the Brokeback Mountain of it all. All these basic, low vibrational, low IQ white men afraid of Donald Trump. Why? He can't whip your ass. Believe in yourself that you can win without the backing of a nasty boy, Donald Trump. Believe in yourself and pray and keep going. Break quorum. Abbott can go down the hill. I don't give a F.
Hate gerrymandering. They hate it.
Me too.
It polls terribly. It polls worse than Donald Trump. People hate gerrymandering. But so then I guess something I'm hearing a lot is that how does it make the Democrats look better if we're I think a lot of the attacks on Democrats they're just like Republicans.
Yeah, that we're all
the parties are the same. The parties are the same.
Let's draw a clearer line here. I think that's helpful for people to know. Every single Democrat in Congress would vote tomorrow to ban gerrymandering nationwide. And I probably can't find more than 1 or 2 Republicans that would say the same. Let's have that vote tomorrow.
They scared of Donnie.
To ban it nationwide.
They scared of
The problem right now is that in states like California, where there's independent commissions that draw the districts, that is not inspiring folks like Governor Greg Abbott to come do the right thing. Instead, what that system has created is Governor Greg Abbott and Donald Trump think they can violate the Voting Rights Act, suppress voters of color, and gerrymander in extreme ways because they know
Donald Trump hates black and brown people.
They can't fight back in other states. And that is what is perpetuating gerrymandering. So I think we need to win back a Democratic majority in the House, get rid of the con man in the White House, and then ban gerrymandering.
Hit that like button, people.
Big money
Come on, get me to 100.
While we're at
Thank you.
Where we are right now is that we are in a race to the bottom, and we've got to try to block these maps in Texas. And if we don't use all the tools at our disposal, then we're just basically giving this up to Donald Trump.
Voters hate gerrymandering. They hate it.
Me too. I hate it.
I hate it. I hate it too. Because gerrymandering only helps the Republicans steal again. Donald Trump wants to steal another election. He tried to do it in 2020, lying that our president, Joe Biden, was not the winner when he won. Even Mike Pence told Donnie boy, you lost. And he didn't want to believe him. He wanted Mike Pence to stand up there and lie. Donnie, you actually lost in 2024. You admitted yourself that election was rigged in your favor. We smell you from far. And you stink. I smell a rat. Now you want to steal the 2026 election. Why, Donnie? Because you know you can't win. Just like when you was in school, you failed out. Daddy came and paid your way out, allegedly. But I saw your grades. Your IQ is 73. You can't fuck with Jasmine Crockett. Not on an IQ level or any way, ever. Not even your hoe of a wife. Ho, 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 and a Merry Christmas. This guy, one of Trump's picks, was trafficking children. This doesn't surprise me. No. We know about the Epstein files, Donnie. So who am I talking about? I'm going to show you the guy and I'm going to read it to you. This is who I'm talking about. Anton Lazaro. MAGA. A Minnesota jury has found GOP strategist, donor, and founder of Big Tent Republicans, Anton Lazaro, guilty of trafficking. I rebuke you 10 times back to you, whoever putting a curse on me while I'm on my live. I can identify and know what witchcraft is. Okay, so he is guilty of trafficking. He is MAGA. Why is it that all these basic, mediocre white men are into children? Go get your brain checked. You need to have your brain cut, your head cut open, and your brain scrubbed with a toothbrush and bleach. Didn't Donald Trump tell y'all to drink bleach in COVID? Just stupid. Anyway, instead of dose for dummies, he pretty much told the citizens of this country, F you. Take a listen. Elon Musk, who's not a natural-born citizen of the USA, is more important than the Americans. Listen carefully to this. This is one of your Republican senators that needs his brain scrubbed with bleach and a toothbrush.
Would you be against a balanced budget?
Right. Listen carefully.
All right.
Tax the rich.
Okay, let's talk about this. So your proposal to solve this is to tax the rich.
Listen to him. He said, F you.
Elon Musk gets $40 billion a year in funding from the federal government. What makes you think that has no conflict of interest, that he has no conflict of interest? Do you think he would cut that before he would cut our Medicare or our Social Security or our jobs?
I support Elon Musk and the Department of Government Efficiency.
He picked Elon over the American citizens.
Like him or not, Elon Musk has brought a lot of really smart people to Doge. How can you be against a balanced budget?
That man said he supports Elon Musk over the American citizens. Elon has gotten so much billions of dollars from the American taxpayers. But you tell the taxpayers, we can't help you. We're going to help the billionaires. You don't matter. He pretty much told them F you to their face. He pretty much spit in their face.
Donald Trump has ordered Greg Abbott and compliant Texas Republicans to race back to Austin, have a special session in order to rig the election map and undermine the ability of Texans to have a free and fair midterm election. That is wrong. You deserve better. The people of Texas deserve better. That's why I'm so thankful for the leadership of the members of the Texas congressional delegation and the Texas state legislature, who aren't fighting for themselves, unlike the other side of the aisle. They're fighting for a government that actually responds to
hit the like button, beautiful people.
In a way that is designed.
Come on, kings and queens, hit the like button.
Everyday challenges. The people of Texas deserve better. And this
thank you. Give me some more likes. Get me to 100.
That was gifted to us.
Thank you.
By the framers of the Constitution.
I love you guys.
Should be one where the people of Texas are able to decide which elected officials have the ability and honor to represent them in Washington. Instead, Republican politicians want to choose their voters. That is wrong, and it will undermine the quality of life of the people of this great state. It has been said in the early days of the Republic that when the people fear the government, there is tyranny. But when the government fears the people, there is liberty. So this fight is not over, it's just beginning.
We will win the war.
Standing behind me, there is an ability for the people of Texas to make their voices heard, show up, stand up, speak up for what is right, for their opportunity to determine their own destiny through the gift of democracy and free and fair elections. But the only way that will be brought about is if together we're able to stop the effort to gerrymander in a way that also violates the Voting Rights Act, the Texas congressional map, as part of their scheme to rig the midterm elections. It can be done, and if anyone can do it, it's the people of the great state of Texas. Donald Trump.
Texas, join in on this war. Don't be scared. I'm not scared, and I'm a woman. I'm petite and not afraid. I'm willing to fight because it's for our freedom, and I don't give up. I'm not afraid. I've never been afraid. I've been a warrior since I was a kid. You F with me, you'll find out. You want to fuck around and find out? Try me.
That so many people will remember last year during his campaign, President Trump told one group that if they voted for him that time, they wouldn't need to vote again. Well, this is part of that effort to start the next election. It starts in Texas, but he clearly plans to extend it across America and pick up as many seats as he can with crooked lines instead of honest votes. The stakes here are much more important than me or any individual up here. We have the opportunity to serve briefly on behalf of our state. But what is at stake here is the future of American democracy. Because Trump knows if we have a Democratic House, it has subpoena power. It has the opportunity to set the agenda. It has the opportunity to have a big say in the appropriation process, the power of the purse, which these Republicans have increasingly turned over to the White House. So much at stake for the future of our country. I think that...
Get me to 100. Come on, beautiful kings and queens. Get me to 100. Make me happy. Put a big smile on my face. Don't you want to see me happy? Hit that like button. Come on, kings and queens. A little something for the MAGA cult.
I'm saying this as a former Republican, former MAGA. If you're a Republican and you are MAGA, you need to leave the party now, okay? Because your party just became the party that protects PDF files. And that's not hyperbolic. Here is my proof. Speaker Johnson has sent the House home for August recess. It's July 22nd. There's still 9 days left in July. It's not August yet. Yes, August recess, it does happen every year in Congress, but we're still in July. We can still get a lot done. But he is sending them home so that the Democrats cannot force a vote on these Epstein amendments. Let me tell you something. If somebody is accusing me of doing something that I didn't do, especially as horrid as this,
get me to 100. Thank you.
To say, here is all the information I have. You look through everything and you will find that I have done nothing. Okay? But the Trump administration has continually delayed these, these Epstein files. And now Johnson is doing what he's doing, sending people home. They are protecting the PDF files. Even if you truly don't believe that Trump had anything to do with anything regarding Epstein, you're still protecting the PDF files. If you are protecting the PDF files, you are just as bad as the PDF files, in my opinion. And the two
I agree with everything he's saying.
In government, the president and the speaker are both protecting PDF files, okay? And what's worse is they're protecting a dead one. My guess is they're not just protecting dead ones, they're protecting live ones too. But you know what I mean. Leave the party, okay? Go. You don't have to be a Democrat. Go be an independent. But for God's sakes, don't be affiliated with the people that protect the PDF files. I'm telling you, it's not a good look. And just a reminder that in every cult, there's not always pedophiles in every cult, but every cult always has people that protect pedophiles, okay? Don't be that type of person. Don't be affiliated with these type of people who protect PDF files. Just don't do it. Leave the party now, or get new leadership in your party, because the ones you have now are failing you. I mean, you had a chance to change the leadership in your party back in 2024, and you chose not to. So you got to live with this. But for now, I would not be affiliated with them.
If you voted for Donald Trump, you too are a PDF file. You are everything that Donald Trump is. He's a horrible man. You're a horrible person. He grab him by the P-U-S-S-Y. You grab him by the P-U-S-S-Y. He talk about young girls and how he would get with young girls like Lizzie Lohan, even his own daughter. You do the same to young people. You're nasty, like Donald Trump. So, let me take a sip. One moment. So, Abbott, the wheelchair thug, you're trying to steal this election. But the Dems got something for you, bussy.
Voting rights under attack. What do?
They're getting out fighting back.
Our voting rights under attack. What do?
We fight back. You see my brothers and sisters out there? We fight back. We all got to do our part. Fight back. Don't be scared. Why are you scared of an old crusty man that wears a Depends and peeping and pooping on himself? I would never be scared of the likes of that.
His lips are moving, he's lying. Let's talk about Greg Abbott's two biggest lies about the quorum break. First, Greg Abbott is saying that he will have Democrats who are breaking quorum removed from the legislature, but that's not a power that's invested in the executive branch. And I know nothing makes these Republicans more mad than when we read, but if you read the Texas Constitution, the rules around quorum are enshrined in our Texas Constitution, with the quorum break being a safeguard for the minority party and the final check on majority rule. And in fact, the Texas House does have rules on breaking quorum. There's things like fines, but also, yes, removal. But you know what? It requires 2/3 of the body present, a quorum. There's no quorum present, and Democrats are going to show up to expel themselves. He's citing an old AG opinion, which is an opinion. It's not an actual court order. Now, I don't put it past Gregory to actually get this ball moving and try to get through the courts to get a decision to expel them, but that would take years, and he knows it, so this is really just him puffing out his chest. Lie number 2 is
puffing a chest from a wheelchair.
And disaster mitigation, but what Greg Abbott doesn't want you to know is that he can sign an executive order to cover those things right now. We don't even need a special session for that. Not only that, but Republicans in the legislature are the majority party, and so they set the agenda for what bills are heard and when. They call the order. So far, not a single bill related to the floods has been heard in committee. Those bills haven't even been scheduled for a hearing yet. Republicans were hoping to use families who are still burying their loved ones as a bargaining chip to hold Democrats hostage in Texas and not go fight for their constituents. So Gregory, you can go sign those executive orders and then take that pen and shove it. If his lips are moving, he's lying. Let's talk.
Greg Abbott, shove it so far up, yo, you shove it all the way up there. Do you need some help? I don't mind helping you shove it up there. I will put it so far up in you, you'll be begging for your dead mama. I got to put the charge on my phone. Hold on. My phone is going dead. I will have you begging for your daddy. You wouldn't be able to breathe, boy. Greg Abbott is a wheelchair thug. Him and Donald Trump need to go lay in bed together and play footsie. So this is something from Jasmine Crockett. I'm going to read it to you. This is what she posted today, Queen Jasmine Crockett. She says 60 years ago today, the Voting Rights Act became law. Now, we have an administration conducting voting suppression in real time. In Texas, Republicans are trying to gut our democracy by redrawing maps to erase 5 Democratic seats before a single vote is cast. The fight continues. We owe it to those who marched, bled, and believed to keep pushing until every voice is heard and every vote counts. 2026 midterm election is so important. It's one of the most important elections. You make sure you get out there and vote. They're trying to keep you from voting by redistricting cities and states in Texas. They've done it in North Carolina as well. North Carolina got a bunch of bussies too. A bunch of bussies. They like Trump want to bend over and get an eggplant. That's what you're dealing with in this country. This is a message from MAGA. I got something for you, baby.
That woman talking about her father getting kicked out of the nursing home? Well, apparently the nursing homes are kicking out their Medicare patients. And she was like, why would they do that? And everyone in the comments was like, honey, this is what you voted for. This is Medicare cuts. This is the big, beautiful bill. And she was like, no, that's not it. Yes, it is. I work in skilled nursing. 90% of the residents that are in there, they are Medicare patients. These buildings stay open because of Medicare. They will close down. They will not care for your aging parents and grandparents for free. They will send them home to you. You will have to quit your job and stay home and take care of them. That means you're going to have to be the caregiver for your father, your husband, your kids. You're going to have to quit your job. You're going to do all this on half the income for your household. This economy is going to suffer greatly when these places start closing down.
Our economy is already suffering.
This is one of the reasons, this is the main reason why I did not want to rely on the U.S. for my income while I'm living abroad. The economy here is bound to crash. When you cut Medicare like that and these places close, a lot of people are going to lose their jobs. The dollar is going to suffer. There is no...
Hospitals have started closing already.
With these people. They have no idea.
Hit that like button, beautiful people. Happening. Hit the like button. Trump don't care. Trump don't care. Your mama, your grandma can't stay in the nursing home long as he's helping the billionaires and he's getting richer and richer with that fake Bitcoin. It's all money laundering, in my opinion. It's not nothing new to Donnie. He tied in with the Russians, baby. Nothing is new to him when it comes to crime.
Called an anti-MAGA preacher, and it's true, I am anti-MAGA. In fact, anyone who claims to be a Christian has to be anti-MAGA, or else you're not truly following the teachings of Jesus Christ. You cannot follow Jesus, who told us to welcome the stranger, while also advocating to close our borders to immigrants and refugees. You cannot follow Jesus, who told us to feed those who are hungry and give drink to those who are thirsty, while also advocating to cut programs that give food and drink to those who are hungry and thirsty. You cannot claim to follow Jesus, who went around and provided health care for free while also advocating for cuts to health care. You cannot claim to follow Jesus, who spent his entire life going around and teaching people while also cutting education. You cannot claim to follow Jesus, who spent his entire ministry giving hope to the poor while also advocating for an economic system that takes money from the poor and gives it to billionaires. Yeah, I'm an anti-MAGA preacher because everything that claims to make America great again is bad for the kingdom of God, the reign of God on this earth.
The reign of God. Amen.
Be anti-MAGA.
Be anti-MAGA. I'm anti-MAGA all day long. They come over here, they try to bully me, but I ain't scared. I ain't never scared. Try me. I ain't never scared, MAGA. I'm small, petite, but I'm bad as a mother. I ain't scared of you. I ain't scared of Donald Trump. I would say what I say on this live in Donald Trump's face. That's how bad I am. I'm Michael Jackson bad and beyond. I'm Beyonce bad. The baddest bitch. One moment. Don't be fooled by MAGA, y'all. They want you to be afraid. Don't be afraid. Don't let them stop you from doing what's right, what benefits you. So, this is old Donnie, boy, with his BS. It's breaking news. In a stunning moment, Trump basically admits to witnessing tampering. The deputy AG is speaking with Jasmine Maxwell so that people who should be involved are not hurt by something very, very unfortunate. That sounds very guilty. Uh-oh.
I just a very highly thought of person, respected by everybody. And I didn't talk
You're
to
not
him
respected,
about it, but
Donnie.
I will tell you that whatever he asked would be totally appropriate, and it's not an uncommon thing to do that. And I think he probably wants to make sure that, you know, people that should not be involved or aren't involved or not hurt
talking about
by
himself.
That would be very,
what
very
he do most of the
to a lot
time.
of people. But I will say this, Todd Blanche is one of the most highly respected people you'll ever meet. So I know
That's
this.
Donnie's
I didn't
attorney.
discuss it with him, but anything he talked about with her or the fact that he did that, not unusual, number one, and most importantly is something that would be totally above. I just a very highly thought of person.
Donnie, he sends his attorney to talk to Miss Maxwell, but he claims he don't know what they talked about. That don't even sound right, Donnie. Who's going to send the attorney to speak with someone, but you don't know what they talk about? You're paying for the attorney, so of course he's going to report back to you. It's for the benefit of you, Donnie. Just like they redacted your name out of the Epstein files. They had 1,000 FBI agents redacting, removing your name. And where there's redactions, that's Donnie's part. Donnie, you've been a bad boy. You don't need to be spanked. You need to be beat. Anybody that touch children need they beat. You're a bad boy, Donnie. You're just not Michael Jackson bad. And your wife is not Beyonce bad at all. She has a flat butt. Not compatible. Okay, there's a huge difference in Dems and Republicans. Let me tell you. I'm going to tell you what it says. This is what it says. Democrats leaving Texas to protect the district. Republicans leaving Washington, D.C. to protect Epstein files. That's what that picture depicted. Again, Democrats leaving Texas to protect the district. Republicans leaving D.C. to protect the Epstein files. That's our reality. And we're not on reality TV, Donnie. See, Donnie think America is a reality TV show. This is not The Apprentice, you big fat fool. So, in my opinion, from this conversation, in Trump's own words, this demon knew young teen girls were trafficked from Mar-a-Lago. His own words. Uh-oh, the fat boy. Hold on, I got to get the fat boy back on. Donald Trump is fat boy.
Epstein has a certain reputation, obviously. I'm just curious, were some of the workers that were taken from
Hit the like button, please.
Were some of them young women? Well, I don't want to say, but everyone knows the people that were taken. And it was the concept of taking people that work for me is bad. But that story's been pretty well out there. And the answer is yes, they were. Yes, they were young women? What did they do? In the spa. In the spa? Yeah, people that work in the spa. I have a great spa, one of the best spas in the world in Mar-a-Lago.
Teenagers working in the spa is illegal.
Hired by him. In other words, God. And other people would come and complain, this guy is taking people from the spa. I didn't know that. And then when I heard about it, I told him.
He never reported that they was being trafficked from his spa.
Or not spa.
He's a criminal.
And he was fine. And then not too long after that, he did it again. And I said, out of here.
That's a lie because they continue to be friends after this.
Person. Does that include Virginia Jeffrey?
I don't know. I think she worked at the spa.
She was a teenager.
I think so. I think that was
14.
He stole her. So, Mr. President, Epstein has a certain reputation, obviously. I'm just curious, were some of the workers that were taken from you, were some of them young women? Were some of them young women? Well, I don't want to say, but everyone knows the people that were taken. And
this oversized monkey, Donald Trump, the man in the Oval Office, just admitted to the young girls was trafficked out of his Mar-a-Lago. Thank you, King Ralph Perry. I love you, baby. Thank you. He just admitted it. What kind of man is Donald Trump? He's not a good man, I tell you that. So, white men love calling black women low IQ, even when they don't have the education of the black woman, nor a black man. What am I talking about? Well, let me show you.
Crockett's district, you're getting eliminated. Sorry, you have to go be an influencer. Jasmine Crockett, what skill set does she have?
I don't know. She's a lawyer who was an ADA, criminal defense attorney, a civil rights attorney, and started her own law firm and is now a congresswoman. You dropped out of community college to be an influencer.
Bam! What you know about that, MAGA? MAGA love to talk they smack. Them white mediocre men, they love talking about black women badly, but they don't even have the education of the knowledge that the black woman has. When you get the education that the black woman has and have the knowledge that she has, then you move your D-suckers. Until then, don't move them. Just keep your paper-thin lips shut with your little ping. go crawl into bed with Donald Trump and play footsie.
People ask me why I left the Republican Party. Here's why. They lie. They lie about almost everything. They lie to your face, they lie to their base, and they think that their supporters are too dumb to notice.
She is very
Just
pretty.
over the past week, they pushed some fake story about how Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama would be arrested for crimes against the United States. This is a made-up story. It's a distraction all designed to pull your eyes away from the fact that Donald Trump is hiding the Epstein files, and he's probably on them. He knew he was on the Epstein files back in May when the DOJ informed him, and now they're colluding with him to hide the files and deceive the public. Look, I know Americans are smarter than that, but when you've been fed garbage by sources that you've trusted for years, it is really hard to separate fact from fiction. I've been there. So let's take a look at the Epstein scandal right now and what's being reported. This is how left-wing sources are reporting on it, by pointing out that a Daily Wire host said that there's no question that Tulsi Gabbard has brought on this Obama scandal to appease the Trump base and hope that they stop paying attention to Epstein. And here's how right-wing sources are reporting on it. Oh, now a senior CIA officer who worked on Obama's fake Russia report says Tulsi Gabbard is lying. The next one by the Federalist says the Russia collusion hoax is worse than you think. See the difference? And this is where Ground News comes in. They're a news comparison platform that lets you see how different media sources are covering the same story. It shows the political bias of each source, highlights blind spots across coverage, and shows you misinformation being spread across the political spectrum, because there's a lot of it. If you don't believe me, just look here. There's almost no coverage from right-wing sources about how the Texas GOP just unveiled their new planned congressional map that eliminates multiple Democratic seats off the map. Yes, this is gerrymandering. Ground News is truly transformative in the news space. I have it for myself, and it's worth every penny. So use my link below and go get 40% off their Advantage plan right now. You won't regret it, I promise. A lot of people...
Everything I have shown you all is fair use, educational purpose, great research, and great entertainment. So, some black culture news. The Soul Train Awards have been canceled indefinitely. Well, it's sad because it was for us, by us. I thank God I was able to attend the Soul Train Awards when it was held here in Atlanta. I was even featured on American Soul, a TV show about Don Cornelius and Soul Train. I was one of the Johnny girls for the Tips. Gladys Knight and the Tips. Kelly Rowland was Gladys Knight, and I was one of the Johnny girls, girl number 1 for that TV show, American Soul, the first episode. So I guess I made history. So let me show you what I'm talking about. BET has canceled Soul Train Awards and the Hip Hop Awards indefinitely. So that's just some history. I made history because I got to be on a TV show about Don Cornelius and Soul Train. And I was on the first episode. Yeah, that's me. Just go look. I got an ugly wig on because we had to wear wigs back in the time. You know what I mean? Because I won't let them tease my hair down and break my hair off. I wasn't with all that. But anyway, I just wanted to put that in there because I like to throw some black history in there sometimes. I'm a black woman. I love everybody. Okay, let's get back to business.
I want to be very clear. The Trump-Abbott gerrymander is a test case for the rest of the country. What Republicans are trying to do in Texas is a model for other red states to lie, cheat, and steal their way to victory. They don't give a damn about the will of voters or their needs. In fact, they'd rather bend the knee to Donald Trump in Washington, D.C. than advocate for Texas. It's insulting, it's shameful, and it's wrong. And as I said, Democrats are going to fight this tooth and nail, and until the will of the voters is respected. This is not the Democratic Party of your grandfather, which would bring a pencil to the knife fight. This is a new Democratic Party. We're bringing a knife to a knife fight, and we're going to fight fire with fire.
First and 10, go fight, win.
Let Republicans succeed in their efforts to gerrymander the map and tilt the election in their favor. I want to thank all of those who are here in solidarity with our brothers and sisters in the Texas House Democratic Caucus who have broken quorum to prevent this illegal Republican gerrymander from going through. Now, I want to be very clear about this.
We must stand with our brothers and sisters and see them through with what they're trying to do to stop the gerrymandering. And they got to fight back. So they got to fight dirty. Don't talk smack. Join them. Join them. Because I'm with them. I stand with them on this. Fight back.
Democrats who fled should be arrested.
Really? Did you say the same thing about Republicans shutting down Congress to avoid voting on the release of the Epstein files?
That's different.
Why? Because it protects Trump?
Well,
The job of elected officials is to protect democracy, not bow down to leaders.
changing the maps is good for democracy.
Texas Democrats get 45% of the vote. Under the new map, they get 21% of the seats.
But look at Illinois, it's gerrymandered too.
There's no denying that, but the difference is Democrats passed H.R. 1 to ban all partisan gerrymandering. Republicans blocked it.
Okay, so then why is California saying they're going to gerrymander too?
Because if they don't fight back, it could be the end of democracy and fair elections.
That's actually patriotic.
When democracy is under attack, defending it by any legal means necessary isn't wrong. It's the duty of our elected officials.
The Texas Democrats who fled should be arrested.
Really? Did you say the same thing about Republicans shutting down?
Abbott, did you say the same thing about Republicans when they shut down early and went home back in July instead of going when they supposed to in August? What's good for the goose is good for the gander. Get with the program.
Stolen.
This is Virginia Jeffrey's brother.
His property.
She was taken advantage of by Jeffrey Epstein. She worked at Donald Trump's spa.
It's very important that we don't treat it like stolen. Seems very impersonal. It feels very much like an object, and these survivors are not objects. Women are not objects. What goes through my mind is that it's time to protect survivors, and it's time to protect the young women and our future generation of young women. So no, she wasn't stolen. She was preyed upon. And it certainly makes you kind of ask the question, how much he knew during that
Donald
time.
Trump knew a lot. He's a liar.
Even a couple of years later, even after he, I believe he had stated something along the lines of cutting off communication or kicking him out. He described Jeffrey Epstein as somebody who really enjoyed being around young women. And so she was preyed upon. She wasn't stolen. That's a predator that came and took her and did absolutely horrible things to her and so many other women out there. She wasn't stolen.
Donald Trump said Epstein stole the girls from him. That's pimp talk. And like that guy said, his sister wasn't stolen. Donald Trump's spa. She wasn't stolen. She was trafficked from Mar-a-Lago. That's what happened. You heard him say his sister was not stolen. My hair keeps getting in my face. I'm going to cut it again in the front. It's disgusting to say stolen. Like they're objects. They were human beings. They are human beings. Virginia was a human being. She was not an object. She was taken advantage of. She was a teen that worked at Mar-a-Lago. And who owned Mar-a-Lago? Donald Trump. That's a fact.
Trump, Governor Abbott, Texas Republicans, well, they know that they're headed toward a loss of the Congress in 2026. They're afraid, and they should be. Because when you try to tear health care away from veterans and seniors, from children and people with disabilities, when you raise tariff taxes on groceries and beer and automobiles, when you let poor and working class families go hungry, when you allow smokestack industries to pollute the air and remove safety standards from food producers, well, all so that you can give a massive tax break to Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos and Bill Ackman, well, frankly, you'd better watch out. You're going to lose your elections. So they've decided that the only way to save themselves
This governor right here,
to change the rules in the middle
he
of the
is
game.
a billionaire, a real
What do
billionaire.
MAGA Republicans in Texas do when Donald Trump ignores, well, his oath of office and theirs, and when they're taking it upon themselves to thwart the will of the American people? Well, they say, when Donald Trump calls, they say, yes, sir. Right away, sir. Happy to lick your boot, sir.
Tell
Donald
them.
Trump says jump, Greg Abbott and Ken Paxton say how high. They don't care that they're violating the Voting Rights Act and racially gerrymandering their state. Well, they're hoping they can rob the bank and get away before anyone notices. Texas
But we
Republicans are
noticed
trying to diminish the
already.
voting power of their own constituents, and in doing so, diminish the rights of Illinoisans and all Americans. Texas House Democrats are putting their lives on hold and their livelihoods at risk because they don't want to live in a country where the president rigs elections for his side. That's not democracy. That's not America. Donald Trump, Governor Abbott, Texas Republicans, well, they know that they're headed toward a loss of the Congress in 2026. They're afraid, and they should be. Because when you try to tear health care away from veterans and seniors, from children.
Donald Trump, go gerrymander your hairline. Do something about that. You want to gerrymander something? Do that. You'll be more attractive. But you never have been. No. Melania didn't marry you because your looks. It was your money.
Disagrees with that, Senator, but raising taxes in order to do it?
Good. Oh, dear. Are you worried that billionaires are going to go hungry? You know, I watched this race, read all the stories about...
I love Elizabeth Warren.
And bending the knee to the billionaires, right? Adams going in, bending the knee to the billionaires. And nothing about you bending the knee to the billionaires. And I thought, billionaires aren't going to like that. My view is we're running out of time here. It is time to get universal child care. It's why I wanted to come here, to be with you. You inspire me. When you tell the people of New York City, we can do better, we can make this a more affordable city, and when you make child care a key part of that, I'm in all the way. So how come you lied?
You know,
She believes the children are our future.
But you know, let me ask you a question, because you've been at the forefront of this fight. For childcare for a long time. People have told you for years that this kind of a vision is unrealistic. And that's a lot of what we hear when we talk about freezing the rent, making buses free, universal childcare. They say it's not going to happen. What do you say to those critics? What have you said?
You ever heard of the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau?
Yes, I have.
Do you know what everybody told me about that agency? Impossible, can't be done. Ask for something small. You know, my view on this is ask for what actually fixes the problem and then get out there and fight for it.
You know, when Andrew Cuomo gave Elon Musk $950-odd million in tax credits, there weren't the same questions.
Yeah,
whether
where
it was
was
realistic
everybody
or
saying, whoa, is that realistic? But when we're talking about what is truly our most precious resource, you want to build a successful city, you want to build a successful nation, what should you be investing in? You invest
Children, invest in children.
invest in your little kids. You invest in the people who
I believe the children are our future.
Politics is ultimately about our values. Our budgets are about our values. So if you really think all we're supposed to be doing is helping the billionaires have a little smoother path through life, then fine, vote for Cuomo. But if you actually think what our job is to give our kids a chance, that's what this is all about.
The children are our future. Donald Trump don't care about that. He could care less about your children. He could care less about school children. He can care less about your grandmother's Medicaid. He could care less about that nursing home she lived in. He could care less about the hospitals that have already closing because of Donald Trump.
Aware of, and did you personally approve the prison transfer for Ghislaine Maxwell?
Oh God, no. He wouldn't know that. If you happen to be new here, I do sarcasm, like lots of the sarcasm.
I didn't know about it at all. No, I read about it just like you did.
He gives himself away as soon as he says he's
He doesn't lie good. He thinks he does.
It's not a very
We
good
see through that hair.
No, nothing about this comment. Not even a little bit. No.
Well, let me tell you.
We'll let you just keep talking.
He's a very talented man. His name is Todd Blanche.
I can't believe he didn't follow that up with, have you heard of him?
A very legitimate person.
Liars over-answer questions. She didn't say he wasn't legitimate.
Very high, I just a very highly thought of person, respected by everybody.
And they exaggerate.
And I didn't talk to him about it, but...
Oh, and I'm sure he didn't talk to Pam Bondi either when she instructed 1,000 of her FBI agents
Hit
to
the like
retract
button,
his name
please.
from, like, all those files. Probably had no idea. None. Clueless.
And I think he probably wants to make sure that, you know, people that should not be involved...
Considering the subject matter, would that not be everybody?
Or aren't involved?
Just a thought here, you know, but I'm not some highly respected by everybody deputy DOJ, but he could just have people talk to the victims. They could just talk to the victims.
No, he wants them to talk to
They're
the
not hurt by something.
ex-trafficker.
Like the victims were. The victims, he's never mentioned. Never once. Never mentioned.
It would be very, very unfortunate, very unfair to a lot of people.
Never mentioned. Never mentioned the victims.
But I will say this, Todd Blanche is one of the most highly respected people you'll ever meet.
I'm sick of Dunny. I don't even want to hear his voice anymore. He disgusts me. Oh, God. He's disgusting. To look at him, it makes me sick. Listen to him, I want to vomit. I just want to hurl everywhere. MAGA nuts are at it again.
Serious breaking news this morning. Texas House Democrats had to evacuate their hotel this morning in Illinois because a bomb threat was called into the hotel. Thankfully, everyone is safe. In a new statement issued by Texas House Democrats, the leadership of the House Democrats, Gene Wu writes, quote, "This morning, a threat was made against the safety of the members of the Texas House Democratic Caucus. We are safe, we
That's
are
MAGA.
secure, and we are undeterred.
MAGA
We are
nuts.
grateful for Governor Pritzker, local and state law enforcement for their quick action to ensure our safety." They're staying in St. Charles, Illinois. It was evacuated, a hotel, and the press event that they were hosting, according to the Texas Tribune, was actually canceled. Folks, this is very serious. Bomb threats are not a joke. Political violence and threats of political violence.
That's who
must be
MAGA
taken
is.
extremely serious.
Remember?
And I'll provide you up
J6ers?
Thankfully, everyone is safe.
J6ers are dangerous. They are a terroristic group. How many times I got to tell y'all this? The J6ers are dangerous. The MAGA nuts. Dangerous people. They shouldn't be walking around free. They need to be locked up at Alligator Alcatraz. That's what MAGA nuts need to be. J6ers. Instead of them being ICE. Donald Trump allows those people to be part of ICE. And they are told they got to gather up, what, 3,000 or more a day? They run around messing with innocent people. My hair got on my lip. So jdvance, he organized an emergency Epstein strategy meeting as MAGA turns against Trump. Some have. They have. Those are the ones that starting to wake up. They took their head out of Donald Trump's pamper. They don't want to smell the pissy depends anymore. Okay. So jdvance is calling an emergency meeting to scheme on how to cover for Trump. I think he's scheming to become president. That's in my opinion. I don't know why my hair keep getting on my lip. Donald Trump's alleged involvement in the Jeffrey Epstein's activities. So we're going to see what they're talking about. And this is by News Carrier Room and Midas Touch Network. So I'm going to show you, then I'm going to show you the slide, okay? I'm going to read it. Top Trump administration officials will gather at Vice President's residence Wednesday evening today as they continue to weigh whether to publish an audio recording and transcript of Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche's recent conversation with Jeffrey Epstein accomplice Jasmine Maxwell. This administration handling of the Epstein case, as well as the need to craft a unified response, is expected to be main focus of the dinner. 3 sources familiar with the meeting told CNN the meeting will include White House Chief of Staff Susie Wiles, Vice President jdvance, Attorney General Pam Bondi, FBI Director Kash Patel, and Blanche. What a wonderful dinner. Will they be covering for Trump, or is it that jdvance want to take his spot? Bussy boy want to be president. All right.
Politics has a vice that's much worse than alcoholism, is the way that I put it. But we release the list.
His vice is humping a couch.
Seriously, we need to release the Epstein list. That is an important thing. Everybody in politics has a vice that's much worse than alcoholism, is the way that I put it. But we release the list.
jdvance, you don't want to know what his vice is? Humping a couch. His vice is put on a blonde wig, not as long as my hair, but a blonde wig with a black mini skirt and a woman's top tied in the front, looking out sassy. He wants to get ready for it. Them two gonna climb in bed. They gonna climb in the bed at the White House and play footsie. Donnie, you're such a bad boy. Have you not learned to leave people alone when they don't want to be groped by you? But maybe JD wants to be groped by his daddy, Donald Trump.
I distinctly remember him smiling and enjoying the fact that he was doing this. He asked me to take my clothes off. I was trembling. I was so scared. He began to touch me. It quickly turned into an assault.
I was so young. Galen woke me up in the morning and said, "You're going to meet a prince today." And Galen said he's coming back to the house, and I want you to do for him.
I think around this time she turned 16.
Said, "Oh, no. She's not here for you." And he said, "Come with me." And he escorted him into another office, and I was like, "Who's in there?" And when he said, "Oh, I thought she was 16," I thought, is there a 16-year-old in there? There's hundreds of us that were preyed upon. Jeffrey thought that we were disposable, and he threw us all away. And look who's still standing.
Donald Trump.
I remember him smiling
and the girls are still standing, but Trump must come down.
He asked me to take my clothes off. I was trembling. I was so scared. He began to touch me. It quickly turned into an assault.
I was so young. Galen woke me up.
And Donald Trump wants to pardon Ghislaine Maxwell, an ex-trafficker. She was just as involved as Epstein. She doesn't deserve to be pardoned, MAGA. Call your local senator and speak up for once. Get a spine. Have somebody eggplant your spine out by hitting your bussy so hard, and that's why you can't get a spine. So if Trump pardons this monster, Ghislaine Maxwell, he's admitting he's guilty. That's just what it is, people. I can't play that music, sorry.
Speaking this morning on CNN, former National Enquirer reporter Barry Levine, author of The Spider, Inside the Criminal Web of Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, revealed that Donald Trump was warned about Epstein's behavior with young women as far back as 1992. A revelation that majorly discredits Trump's timeline of his friendship with Epstein and when he knew of Epstein's crimes.
Yes, and Barry, you have noted that when we talk about Ghislaine Maxwell, she actually knew Trump before she knew Jeffrey Epstein, and that she also knows a great deal about how close Trump and Epstein were, of course, over many years. And there was a friendship, Barry, that included a party years ago that still stands out to you.
Yeah, as we revisit this, looking back on the, intensity of that relationship that took place, there was a 1992 party in which Donald Trump and had 28 young women at a party at Mar-a-Lago. His only guest at that particular party was a man named Jeffrey Epstein. And what's most interesting to me,
Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein,
the reporting that I did on this story, is that the Florida businessman who put this party together at the time for the Calendar Girls competition
at Mar-a-Lago
that took place at Trump casinos, specifically told Donald Trump, this is in 1992, Jeffrey Epstein had only been in Palm Beach for 2 years. He got his mansion there in 1990. This man told Donald Trump, I'm going to ban Jeffrey Epstein from events like this. I don't like him going after younger girls. And he was very concerned about the party on this particular night. And Donald Trump's response, and this is it's been reiterated in an interview to the New York Times.
The man said that Trump told him, don't worry, my name is on this, and it's not going to lead to any scandal. So you have to wonder here. Donald Trump knew
he was down
about
with
Jeffrey
it.
Epstein's behavior with younger girls all the way back to 1992. That is astonishing.
Incriminating, isn't it? And this comes amid new allegations of...
Donald Trump incriminated himself when he said on Air Force One that Jeffrey Epstein will come to Mar-a-Lago and steal his girls, his workers. He said he stole them from him. He just admitted when he said that he knew that Epstein was trafficking young girls from Mar-a-Lago. There you go, MAGA. That's your answer. That should tell you everything you need to know about your savior, Donald J. Trump. It's starting to smell like Trump's Watergate. On June 6th of this July, Trump's FBI agent, Kash Patel, told Joe Rogan on his show, we reviewed all the information and the American public is going to get as much as we can release. That's about the Epstein files. 1 month later, in a joint statement from the FBI and DOJ, they announced that nothing would be released, except for a raw video, which was later discovered to have been edited. They playing in our face. As a story in the NYT makes clear, the documents about Epstein crimes were ready for release 3 months ago. The FBI and the DOJ conducted an extensive review, chose what should be redacted. The files were ready. They redacted Donald J. Trump out of the Epstein files. Yeah. Then in May, AG Pam Bundy and her deputy Todd Blanche briefed Donald Trump on the files, telling him his name appeared in them multiple times. Dunny boy name was in there multiple times because Dunny was having him a self with some young girls, having him a good old time, alleged with some young girls. That's why his name was redacted. And Pam Bundy and Todd Blanche told him that his name was in the Epstein files several times, multiple times. 2 months later, no files would be released. Let me take a sip of water on that, y'all, because talking about Donnie just dries my little country throat out. I'm sorry, y'all. The memo made it seem as if this decision were arrived jointly by Bonnie and Patel, but we can safely conclude that the DOJ and the FBI don't make joint determinations on matters of great interest to the president without consulting him, without taking directions from him. It's the safest bet that Trump made that determination because he knew that no further disclosure would be in his best interest. Epstein is President Trump's cover-up, as surely as Watergate was Nixon's. Blanche traveled to Florida and met in private with Jasmine Maxwell, Epstein's Confederate. Notable Blanche did not meet with any of Epstein's and Maxwell's victims, who testified under oath that Maxwell actually abused them, recruited them, and schooled them on how to give actualized messages to Epstein, among other things. And Donnie knows all about this. The cover-up would succeed, but perhaps not. jdvance stated last night, we all know what's going to happen. They're going to dribble little details out for days and weeks in effort to assassinate the president's character. That man has no character. What jdvance is saying is there's more to come, more little details like Trump's birthday note, more little revelations of hush over office meetings, more little cracks in Trump's stonewall, more and more until perhaps it all comes crashing down. The big bad wolf blows down the house, the White House. And I can't wait till it happens. Yeah. Donald Trump is going down. He's going to be singing I'm Going Down by Mary J. Blige. So, Representative Sarzer, corrupt politicians like Donald Trump and the Texas Republicans are rigging our elections. This is what he says. Oh, shoot.
Donald Trump is the most corrupt president in American history, and Ken Paxton is the most corrupt politician in Texas history. And this is these two men teaming up to try to ram through this ridiculous and illegal gerrymandering plan. It's the same old BS. Corrupt politicians having a scheme to rig the rules of our elections so that they can drown out voters' voices and remain unaccountable. Donald Trump is the most corrupt president in American history, and Ken Paxton is the most corrupt politician in Texas history. And this is these two men teaming up to try to ram through this ridiculous and illegal gerrymandering plan. It's the same old BS. Corrupt politicians having a scheme to rig the rules of our elections so that they can drown out voters' voices and remain unaccountable.
And we must not allow them to drown us out. We're not falling for the banana tailpipe, Donnie boy. You're not that fabulous. You're basic. You're mediocre. Don't forget, tell Trump thanks for the high-priced food in stores due to his beautiful tariffs.
97 cents for a freaking orange, $12.47 for freaking string cheese. Wow, locking up the Slim Jims. Look at this small bag of pretzels, guys. Look at this. This is where it's filled. $6.48, but only $5.83. Nuts for rich people. Look at that.
Walmart marked their prices up 50. I think it's 50% more.
$15 for soda. Wow. Look at the price of that for a bag of chips. $6. $6 for cookies, guys. $5.27 for some damn Cheez-Its.
All the grocery stores prices have gone
People are
up.
going to be rioting in the streets, but we can afford a $200 million ballroom at the White House, $1 billion refurbishment on a plane that we're going to give to him when he's gone, and then we have to buy a new plane. Super Bowl, NASCAR, UFC fight, $45 million one-day birthday parade, Medicaid cut,
And nobody
SNAP
was
benefits
there.
cut,
Very
FAA
little people
cut,
was there.
USDA cut, FEMA cut. What are you paying taxes for? It's a good question. No.
Paying taxes for Donald Trump's luxuries. We're paying taxes for Donald Trump's and the billionaires' luxury. For them to have new jets. For them to get a new Rolls Royce. That's what we're paying for. It's not for us. We pay, but we don't benefit. And I never like that if I can't benefit.
In the room with her, right? You deposed her. Right, so everyone else, it's it's sort of hearsay. You have been there across the table. You have heard her answer questions. You've actually heard her lie, right? My question to you,
Jasmine
having sat
Maxwell
there
is a
and heard
liar.
her talk, is would her testimony be useful? Would she tell the truth? Would anything come out of this?
Listen, the one thing we know for sure is that Ghislaine Maxwell is a masterful manipulator. She lies without concern over and over and over again. You can see that in the deposition. I mean, there was not a question she answered truthfully. So it wouldn't make sense to me for someone to give her an audience because the only thing that she's going to say during those interviews or those meetings are things that will benefit her, and they will not necessarily be truthful. So if it's going to help her, she will use it, but she won't tell the truth.
So Sigrid, when Trump says about pardoning her, he says, I'm allowed to give her a pardon. What does she hear when she hears this?
I mean, we're meant to protect those young children. And so to erase what has been done would just be, completely horrific and really a punch in the stomach to all of the thousands of survivors that are still out there. So it just cannot happen.
You've been in the room with her, right? You deposed her. Right, so everyone else.
We all depose her. We depose ex-traffickers. We depose PDF files. PDF files hang out in the Oval Office. we depose the mega Republican men, DL, pedophiles and all. We the people depose them. So Epstein victims lawyer Spencer Kubin says, we now know from the words of the president himself that Virginia was right all along and that she was trafficked out of Mar-a-Lago. We heard him say from his mouth, yes, Virginia worked there. Virginia was a team. And she was one of the ones that was stolen from Mar-a-Lago. Wake up, MAGA. Go clean your ears out. Listen, Linda, listen. So, Trump is the biggest criminal in America. And I'm going to show you proof. Allegra Garcia, that they took over to El Salvador, 0 crimes. Al Capone, 3 felons. Charles Manson, 7 felonies. John Gotti, 13 felonies. Jeffrey Dahmer, 15 felonies. Donald J. Trump, 34 felonies. Donald Trump is the biggest criminal in America. Donald Trump has 34 felonies, MAGA. Look at it. Charles Manson, 7 felonies. Al Capone, 3 felonies. Allegra Garcia, 0 felonies. John Gotti, 13 felonies. Jeffrey Dahmer, 15. Donald J. Trump has 34 felonies. Donald Trump is the bottom of the ladder, the bottom of the barrel. He is slime that nobody want to look at or even think of. He's a slime ball, scumball. That's Donald Trump. The low IQ liar is at it again.
My poll numbers are up 4.5 points since this ridiculous Epstein stuff. My poll numbers have gone up 4.5 points.
He's lying.
Because people don't buy
Look at the poll numbers. They negative.
He started off back in January +6 points on the net approval rating. -3 in March, -7 in May. And now he's at a term too low at -11 points. His net approval rating has dropped nearly 20 points in the aggregate since the beginning of his presidency. The American people do not like what they're seeing.
Do you know that my poll numbers are up 4.5 points since this?
He's a liar. The devil is a liar. The devil is Donald J. Trump. So, he needs to be removed from office and Bundy must be disbarred. The cover-up is real. He needs to be impeached and Bundy needs to be disbarred.
Yeah, some big news right now. Democrats just overperformed by over 50 points in a Rhode Island special election, marking a significant shift from 2024 to now and showing once again that Democrats are overperforming in these mid-year special elections. So this
Johnny's scared. That's why they married gendering.
This is a district that Kamala Harris carried by 11% in 2024. Tonight, Democrats won by a 66-point margin with over 80% of the vote. Let that sink in. A 66-point margin in a district Kamala Harris won by 11 points. That is a 55-point swing in the special Senate race. Now, special elections are notorious for low turnout, weird results. Makes sense. But a 55-point swing is not just because of low turnout. There is clearly a shift in the electorate. Spread the word. I'll do a full breakdown on my Substack of this and more.
That tells me that shift is something huge and beautiful. That's huge, y'all. That's a big shift. That tells me MAGA is waking up. They're no longer sitting around drinking Donald Trump's Kool-Aid anymore. They're not doing it. 55 points in a special election. That's powerful. Yes, the fight back is real. Go Dems. We got to fight back.
That's patriotism. Unlike this bozo, this orange-faced bozo in the White House who calls himself a patriot as he's shredding the Constitution. This is not the Democratic Party of your grandfather that used to bring a pencil to a knife fight. We're bringing a gun to a knife fight. We're not going to roll over on this.
We have some major breaking news. Texas Republicans are trying to redraw the state map in order to rig the midterms in their favor at the request of Donald Trump. I am standing here with 2 Texas state representatives who have bravely and heroically disrupted this process by breaking quorum, leaving the state, and stopping Republicans dead in their tracks. I am here with Representative Trey Martinez-Fisher.
How are you?
Doing well. I'm here with Representative Gina Hinojosa.
It's good to be here.
Let's start with this.
They have a
You guys had to
backbone.
leave on very short notice when Republicans began this process. Can you explain to me what the process was leaving, when you knew you had to leave your family, and you have a son and a husband you had to leave on short notice? Can you explain to me what this was like?
Yeah, so
They're fighting
we got
for
word this was gonna
democracy.
happen. Probably about a month ago, we started hearing rumors, but it became real when we saw the maps that gutted our communities and their voice in Congress. And then I knew right away, and enough of us knew it was time to go to defend the rights and the voice of our constituents. I did not know where we were going to break quorum until that afternoon. That morning, I thought we were going somewhere else. So I was packed, but really taking it on faith that it was going to be okay. We were in the hands of our very able staff at the House Democratic Caucus. So I showed up, I said goodbye to my husband, my son, who is in middle school still. That's hard to say goodbye for that amount of time, but I couldn't do this without their support. They are so supportive of the work we're doing. And
Texas
really, I did this
Democrats
work
are
because of
fighting
my son.
back,
I do
America.
this because of him. I went on a
Hit the
vacation
like button,
this
please.
summer to
Come on, give me
Philadelphia.
some more
We went to
likes.
Independence
Thank you.
Hall, and it was so important for me that my son connected to who we are, our founding principles that are good, that we really can't see anymore in this country. What Donald Trump and Abbott are doing to take away representation, to take away the ability of the people of Texans to hold them accountable for the ways they are hurting our people, is contrary to who we are as Americans. It is contrary to our identity. I want my son to grow up in a place that is true to our founding values, and that's why I do this work.
The founding values of America are to have a free and fair election, and Republicans are taking that away.
That's patriotism. Unlike this bozo, this orange-faced bozo in the White House who calls himself a patriot as he's shredding the Constitution. This is not the Democratic Party of your grandfather that used to bring a pencil to a knife fight. We're bringing a gun to a knife fight. We're not going to roll over on this.
We have some major breaking news. Texas
Republicans, the Democrats of Texas are not rolling over anymore. They're not going to just take it. They're not Diddy, take that, take that. Donald Trump and Diddy are friends, you know. He loved to deal with them doggone bad men.
Clear that Donald Trump is panicked. It is clear that they are going to try to figure out a way to dig themselves out of this hole. They don't know how, but they're going to try to figure out a way. I don't think they're going to succeed, and here's why. There's a very, very simple narrative to what they can do to put this to rest. And it doesn't involve Todd Blanche going to interview Maxwell in a prison. It doesn't involve, grand jury rules and all that. All they have to do is release the Epstein files.
Release the files, Donnie.
Thousands upon thousands.
Donnie is a bussy.
Of documents. They conducted hundreds, I suspect maybe thousands, of witness interviews that are not grand jury materials. These are not in the grand jury. These are FBI interviews. These are FBI notes. I also suspect there are various FBI compilation documents, spreadsheets that they prepared with names of people who were mentioned by various people, by what various documents show. Those documents can be redacted to remove the names of the victims, the women who were exploited.
We already know the because they've been coming out talking.
And then this would all be solved for Donald Trump, except we all know it wouldn't be solved for Donald Trump. It would probably make his political situation worse because of what's probably in those files. The simplest reason why Donald Trump does not want these files released is because Donald Trump is selfish. He knows what's in them, probably better than you or I or anyone else, and he's afraid. It is clear that Donald Trump is...
Donnie is scared. Donnie, we don't care that you're scared. We want the files. We don't want anything that's redacted. because everything that's redacted has been redacted by the FBI to protect you. Kash Patel doesn't care about the American people, nor does Pam Bundy. Because if they did, they would release them and just redact the victims. Don't redact Donny Boy. Nobody told him to go mess with children if it's true. It's been alleged that he has been messing with teens. We don't know for sure, but I don't put anything past Donny because he said at the teen pageants, he would just go into girls' dressing rooms because he could do that. He's disgusting. Jasmine Maxwell has now requested that Congress delay her testimony. It will not go ahead on August 11 as planned. That means she has spoken to Trump DOJ behind closed doors and is now trying to wiggle out of the testifying openly before Congress. This is not transparency. Trump promised. It's exactly the opposite. It looks more and more like just another case of a child ex-offender getting a secret sweetheart deal from the federal government because of her proximity to wealth and power. Her victims deserve so much better. They gave Epstein a sweetheart deal before. He was allowed to leave the jail daily. Jasmine Maxwell may just get that pardon from Trump because he's scared. He's scared of the truth. He can't handle the truth.
More pictures of Donald Trump with Jeffrey Epstein than there are trans athletes in the NCAA by multiples. Here's the problem Trump has. I think he would throw Pam Bondi under the bus in a heartbeat. But if he does, then the next attorney general has to deal with the Epstein files. And what are you going to do? A, there's no evidence that what they've all said happened. And B, I think deep down, Trump doesn't want all the information released because I think he was, I'm not saying he did anything illegal. I'm saying he was close to the fire. He was, as somebody said over the weekend, there are more pictures of Donald Trump with Jeffrey Epstein than there are trans athletes in the NCAA by multiples. So the bottom line is he wants this to go away now. It's like he wants you to use it when it helps you politically. He wants it to go away when it hurts you politically. There are more pictures of Donald Trump with Jeff.
This is not Burger King, Donnie. This is not your way. Although it seems that it's always about your way, it's not, boo. It's not. It's not Burger King, and you're not a king. You're just a big fat blimp. So, but MAGA says Trump is a Christian. Would a Christian do this?
Trump is not the man of the people. Donald Trump is not a man of faith. And he's allowing his Homeland Security Department, Kristi Noem, and ICE agents, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, to raid in and around houses of worship, including in houses of worship. Never been done in 30 years. And Donald Trump doesn't care. He's having ICE agents bust down the doors with rifles to take parishioners out or to question them and take them away on arrest warrants in churches. Are you okay with that, Christian right that supported Donald Trump? I'm not okay with that.
Hello, white right wing. Hello, MAGA. Are you okay with this?
Moderating a forum in a church in Coral Gables that opens its doors to allow First Amendment free speech.
Right wing and MAGA. Are you okay with this?
Give information to the public, including Know Your Rights. They have a nice sign right out in front that says banned books are welcome here. Churches don't just conduct religious service. They serve a community purpose. And now Donald Trump is stamping on that with guns drawn in houses of worship. If you like this update,
subscribe to Legal AF on YouTube, and he's also on Instagram, and he's also on Midas Touch Network on YouTube as well. There are no consequences for Epstein's clients who abuse children. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. It says, my clients are still free to abuse children with zero fear of consequences. And what that's talking about, nobody is pressing charges against the men that were the Johns. The clients that's on Epstein's client list, why haven't they been arrested? I want to know. Prince Andrew, why hasn't he been arrested? Oh, they protect the rich and powerful. Okay. This right here doesn't make any sense. Hear me out, okay? Hear me out. Your daily reminder that convicted pedos and ex-traffickers, Jasmine Maxwell, is being held in a far better conditions than migrants in Alligator Alcatraz, many of whom are people seeking asylum and have never committed any felonies. But this heifer has been moved to Texas, living better than the people at Alligator Alcatraz. And 90% of the people at Alligator Alcatraz have not committed any crimes or felonies. But Donald Trump has committed 34 felonies. And he gets to sleep in a nice, cozy bed at the White House. I got hair on my lip from my hair and my head, and it's aggravating me. So, yes, America, we must fight back against the regime. I stand with Jasmine Crockett.
Talk a lot of noise, but these guys are weak. That's why they're over here trying to bully people. Bullies are always weak.
Trump is a bully.
The difference is they expect Democrats to kind of be the nice guys that we are. They expect us to take the punch and say thank you. Well, I am here to tell you, not only are we going to punch back, but we're about to beat you down. That's right. We are going to win. They understand that we have a Timu Hitler in the White House right now that thinks that he is going to become the dictator of the United States. Well, I got another thing to tell you, sir. I am here to tell you that time is up for playing in our faces. The Democrats are not going to stand for this any longer. We know that we are standing for the people. And so long as we stand for the people, I absolutely believe the people are going to stand for us. They talk a lot of noise, but these guys are...
Woo! I love her.
President who started out when the country was together and had a wonderful leader, and he is tearing us limb from limb, destroying every institution.
Let's talk about this Donald Trump, even though we don't want to. Let's bring it on the panel.
Yeah. He's a car salesman. He's a con man.
Absolutely.
And he's, you know, he didn't make America great again, but he did turn back the odometer. So who knows what the hell is wrong with us?
Donald Trump is a pinto.
When the country was together and had a wonderful leader, and he is tearing us limb from limb.
Donald Trump is tearing the American people limb from limb. That's a fact. He has broken America. America is not great. Definitely not under Donald Trump.
The FBI just redacted his name from all the files because they were told to flag his name in them. We already know he was mentioned in the files 64 times, appeared on the flight logs 7, and had wire transfers, over 4,000 of them, totaling $1.1 billion to Jeffrey Epstein. Remember, this is a guy that pled the fifth 97 times, has 34 felony convictions, 91 criminal charges, 26 sexual assault allegations, 6 bankruptcies. How do you bankrupt a casino, by the way? And a true patriot with 5 draft deferments. Okay, Captain Bowman Spurs. 4 indictments, 2 impeachments, 2 convicted companies, had a fake university shut down, had a fake charity shut down, had a $25 million fraud settlement, $5 million sexual abuse verdict, $2 million for that fake charity, $93 million worth of sexual abuse judgments, over $400 million in fraud judgments. I mean, the defamation of E. Jean Carroll, the guy was the first president to serve a full term.
He owes E. Jean Carroll $89 million or something.
To maintain a debt to GDP ratio over 100% his entire term. He had the highest annual budget deficit, added the most money to the national debt in a single term, the most new unemployment claims, or just single-day point drop in the history of the Dow. The first major party candidate in half a century to lose the popular vote twice. He had the longest government shutdown in our history, while he had both houses. He had the Senate and the House of Representatives. How is that even possible? Since we've had approval ratings, he's the only president that's ever had a net negative one the entire time. He's the only president who's ever been impeached twice. And also, for both of those, there was bipartisan support for his conviction after the impeachment. No administration has ever had as many members with indictments, guilty convictions, and guilty pleas. He's also the first president to ever have a mugshot. What do you stand for, MAGA? Because it doesn't seem like much. So the FBI just redacted his name from all the files. Good.
MAGA vets don't know what they stand for. They don't even know who they are. That's why they follow behind the fake return of Jesus Christ.
Sweetheart deal that Jeffrey Epstein got, where his felony accusations were changed to misdemeanors and changed in state court, where he got work release in his office building, and that was by Alex Acosta, who Donald Trump rewarded with a cabinet post in his first term. So, I mean, the cover-up is absolutely unbelievable. These young girls who are now adults deserve justice, and we need to make sure those files are released so the sex traffickers and their accomplices are exposed. The sweetheart deal that Jeffrey Epstein got.
They must be exposed. Donald Trump must be exposed. No mercy for Donald Trump. None.
Major update in the Jeffrey Epstein case. Multiple Epstein survivors are speaking out and slamming the Trump administration. For example, survivor Annie Farmer is speaking out, and she's calling the Trump DOJ's handling of the Epstein investigation a cowardly abdication of justice. In a powerful new letter to federal judges, Annie Farmer, who testified against Ghislaine Maxwell and whose sister Maria was the first to report Epstein to the FBI, says the DOJ has failed victims by letting Epstein's enablers walk free. She slams the government's claims that no further prosecutions are needed, writing that it is impossible for two people alone, Epstein and Maxwell, to run a trafficking ring that abused over 1,000 young girls. As a reminder, the Trump administration recently closed the entire Epstein investigation. Farmer supports unsealing the grand jury transcripts, but with one major exception: protect the victims' identities, not the predators. She also expresses horror at the idea that Maxwell might get a pardon or commutation, something sources say that she is actively pursuing and something that Trump has seemed open to. Farmer is not the only survivor speaking out, far from it. Attorneys for other survivors wrote a letter slamming the DOJ for sidelining them from critical decisions relating to the Epstein files, saying that, quote, victims are, at best, an afterthought to the current administration. Other survivors have submitted letters to the courts in recent days saying that the Trump administration is re-victimizing them with their handling of the Epstein case. We're going to keep following this story and more, so spread the word, follow along, and add the Midas Touch podcast on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. A major update in the Jeffrey Epstein
Subscribe
case.
to Midas Touch Network on YouTube and follow them on Instagram. You will not regret it. They are the best attorneys. The best.
I was with Alan Dershowitz multiple times. At least 6 that I can remember. Well, I was trafficked to Alan Dershowitz from Epstein. Epstein made me, essentially, forced me to have sex with him.
I never met her. I never saw her. I never met her. I never heard.
He's lying. In my opinion, he's
Alan
lying.
Dershowitz multiple times. At least 6 that I can remember. Well, I was trafficked to Alan Dershowitz from Epstein. Epstein made me, essentially, forced me to have sex with him.
I never met her. I never saw her. I never met her.
That's the young lady that was asked about when Donald Trump was on Air Force One. He admitted she, who was a teen, worked at his spa. It is illegal for teens to work at a spa. She was trafficked from Mar-a-Lago. That young lady.
Current plan, are you planning on staying in Illinois past the 8th? Is the plan to come back ahead of that deadline? What's the plan right now?
No, we're not taking legal advice from Ken Paxton, and I would advise all Texans not to take legal advice from the most corrupt attorney general in the country. We are all staying out of the state capitol until the end of this special legislative session in 2 weeks to kill this corrupt map and protect our constituents' voices in the democratic process.
I got to ask you, are you worried at all? Today, Senator John Cornyn came out and asked the FBI to assist in possibly arresting you and your fellow lawmakers. Are you worried about getting arrested? Are you willing to get arrested in this fight?
Well, Texans don't scare easily. We don't surrender easily. But I am concerned that there are elected officials in our country who are willing to arrest and remove other elected officials. That should be concerning to all of us. This should be a 5-alarm fire for those who care about the American experiment and the democratic process.
Well, what's your current plan? Are you planning on staying in Illinois?
The Democrats, they're fighting back. And I'm so glad to see this. They have put such a smile on my face. I'm so proud of them. They have never done this before. Fight back, America. Fight against the regime of Donald Trump.
Just then, Trump just gave away the entire game in his Epstein cover-up. What I'm about to show you is Trump confessing. Speaking to the press, Trump said his deputy attorney general is speaking with Ghislaine Maxwell so that, and get this, people who should not be involved or aren't involved are not hurt by something that would be very, very unfortunate, very unfair to a lot of people. He's talking about himself. Watch this and listen to the Midas Touch podcast for more coverage.
I just a very highly thought of person, respected
The
by
con
everybody.
man is crooking.
And I didn't talk to him about it, but I will tell you that whatever he asked would be totally appropriate, and it's not an uncommon thing to do that. And I think he probably wants to make sure that, you know, people that should not be involved or aren't involved are not hurt by something that would be very, very unfortunate, very unfair to a lot of people. But I will say this, Todd Blanche is one of the most highly respected
Trump
people
always
you'll ever
claims
meet.
something is
So
unfair
I know this.
to him.
I didn't discuss it with him, but anything he talked about with her or the fact that he did that, not unusual, number one, and most importantly is something that would be totally above board.
This just in, Trump just gave away the entire game in his Epstein cover-up. What I'm about to show...
Your game is weak, Donnie. You are a spineless piece of shit. I'll just put it that way. That's the nicest thing I could say. Sorry. It's the nicest thing I could say.
Shocking development in the Epstein scandal. Jeffrey Epstein's brother, of all people, was on Piers Morgan last night and basically admitted that he believes the current sitting president was behind
And I believe it
the
too.
unaliving of his brother,
I believe
Jeffrey
it.
Epstein. You gotta watch this.
You got Bundy, you got Patel, you got Barr. All of these people work for Trump. Okay? So if they're covering up for somebody, who do you think they might be covering up for?
So you think they're covering up for President Trump?
People look at all of it. Everybody is looking at little pieces of this and coming up with kind of theories. But people really take the time, because there's a lot of facts, there's a lot of information. People who take the time and really investigate this thoroughly all come to the pretty much conclusion that maybe Trump was behind this.
Wow.
Maybe Jeff was killed to quiet him.
You think President Trump has something to do with
I believe
Epstein,
it.
with your brother being killed?
He didn't do it, but I believe, in my opinion, he had someone to do
Because
it.
if you look at all of the evidence we have and all of the facts, not opinions, and all of the facts,
It leads back to
wouldn't be
Trump.
something I would dismiss.
It happened when Trump was in office.
I agree, and you should too. It's so obvious, unless you're deep in the MAGA cult and in denial. Watch, DJT's going to go after Epstein's brother now, or have the SS sent to his house.
I don't think he's going to do that because he's going to open up more.
Look even more guilty. There's pretty
Yep.
much nothing our president can do to weasel out of this. It may be days from now, or months, or years, but eventually, dude.
Hello, Queen Miss Bugs.
Out.
Hello, beautiful
Shocking
kings and
development in
queens.
the Epstein scandal. Jeffrey
Hello,
Epstein's
Queen
brother,
Victorious
of all
one.
people, was
Hello,
on
B
Piers
Love.
Morgan last night and basically admitted that he believes The current sitting president was behind the unaliving of his brother, Jeffrey Epstein. You gotta watch this.
You got Bundy.
I believe it. And if I was Bundy, I wouldn't want to lose my law license over the fat pig in the Oval Office. Girl, speak up. Tell the truth. You didn't do all that schooling for nothing. You didn't get your education with your high IQ to his low IQ. Woo, Lord, y'all. I want these people to wake up. I would not go down for Donald Trump crimes. I would not do it. I would not if I was her. Come on, Bundy. Wake up. Well, that's all I have for you all today. I want to tell you guys, thank you for coming to my life. I love you. And I hope you come tomorrow at 5 o'clock, okay? I can't do this without you. Hit that like button before you leave out. And if you still want to donate to my channel, you can send me super chats and super stickers. My Venmo and my PayPal link is in the description. Thank you all for coming to my live. May God continue to bless you, and I pray that you have a prosperous life. See you tomorrow. More Donald Trump and Epstein, baby.